Hello, my name is Claire Homer. I am the Slough School educator here at the Columbia Slough Watershed Council. Except today you might notice I am a little out of my area. I'm not in the classroom visiting y'all. And that is because I am out here at Columbia Children's Arboretum looking at the plants that we planted way back when and seeing how they're doing, as well as learning about some awesome things with a very important person named Yoko Silk. And she'll be talking about all the different plants we planted, all that fun stuff today.
Awesome. Hi everybody, my name's Yoko Silk. I work for Portland Parks and Recreation as a stewardship coordinator, which means that I help take care of our natural area parks, which is what you all did when you came out and helped to plant some of these little plant babies you all stewarded, which means that you took care of our natural area parks. I wanted to introduce you, or reintroduce you, to this plant that you all probably already met. This is called snowberry, and if you remember, it has white berries in the winter. Not right now is spring, so in the winter it'll start developing these white berries, and they're super good food for the birds as like emergency food when no other berries exist in the woods. But the other cool thing that I wanted to show you about this plant was that look at these leaves. Do you think that this leaf is the same as this leaf? They're kind of wildly different, right? So this is actually the baby shoot of the snowberry. This is like its newest growth. So this leaf, where it has what we call lobes, when it's kind of wiggly, is like the newer leaves of the snowberry. And when they get really round and kind of smaller, those are like more older leaves. They're part of the older part of the plant. So even when you see a plant like this and you're like, okay, how do I do plant identification? You look at a leaf like this and this, it gets kind of tricky. But with practice, you can figure it out. That's the snowberry. Awesome, we found another little species of plant that you all helped to plant. This one is called red flowering currant. Has no flowers yet, but one of the ways that I can tell it apart is by the shape of the leaf. And then if you rub the leaf and then smell your fingers or smell the leaf, it has like a very particular smell to it. I particularly like it. It smells good. For red flowering currant, red flowering currant, red flowering currant, and here as well. Doing great. So this little baby guy is called mock orange. It's not like it's mocking the orange. I don't exactly know. Maybe the flowers are similar to orange, but it smells amazing when they have flowers. They're really pretty little whitish flowers. So we have mock orange here, and there, and there, and there. And these plants grow to be probably 10 to 15 feet tall, so way bigger than they are right now. So this plant that we planted is called spirea, and it will grow to be maybe 8 feet tall, pretty bushy, and it has these little stacks of flowers that kind of look like spires. If you know what the word spire means, it's like on top of a building, it kind of goes up to a point. So that's why how I remember what it's called is spirea, like spire. And they're bright pink and smell delicious. Spirea and spirea and snowberry. Woo! This is one of our ocean spray plants that was pretty big when we planted it. You can tell it doesn't have a whole lot of leaves right now, but sometimes what plants will do after the first year that they're planted, they'll be like, what happened? I just went on a big move and I'm a little stressed out. And they'll actually spend more of their energy going into their roots, and they're waiting until the next year maybe, or maybe even 2 years afterwards, to really send energy up through their stems and through their leaves again. So this one doesn't look like the happiest, but I actually think it's gonna do fine, because it still has enough green leaves going on to get the light from the sun. And it's got all these sticks that eventually I think it'll probably leaf out and do really well. And there's another little buddy right there, and another one right here. And same thing, like I think it's kind of just spending more time focusing on its roots, and then probably next year if we come back, they'll be a lot bigger.
And how big do they usually grow?
Ocean spray grow to be about 10 to 15 feet tall. They're pretty large. They have these big sprays of flowers that maybe look like ocean foam when the waves come in. So that's why it's called ocean spray. And then the other thing is that we planted 3 of them, so if they don't all make it, that's okay, because we'll probably have at least one that will be really big in this space, right? So we plant a lot more than we think will survive, so that we can at least have a lot of diversity of the plants that we planted. So I'm out here in Columbia Children's Arboretum, and one of the things that I notice are all these little floating poofy things, which happen to be coming from this tree. If you can zoom in, can you zoom in on those flowers?
Mm-hmm.
So those flowers, well, they're actually seeds now, but they come from the cottonwood tree, and guess what? They get to spread their seeds anywhere they want in this park because they get to float on the air. So they're super, super good at sending their seeds everywhere, including in our noses.
And you can kind of see some of them floating through the field.
Awesome. So at Columbia Children's Arboretum, we have a mix of habitats for animals, for them to live, to like make their nests, to have the plants get really big and bushy and have it really be just this awesome place for wildlife to be. But then we also have parts of the park that have pathways where we mow the lawn so that people can come here and also enjoy the park. And right now we're doing this interesting thing where we're leaving some of the grass in the park. We're leaving it pretty long in the spring so that we can have more habitat for ground nesting birds, because some birds don't nest in the trees, they actually build their nests on the ground, and they need the tall grass for protection so they don't get killed by predators. So we leave some of the grass tall, and we'll come back in August and actually cut that grass again to prevent fires and make it safe for the neighborhood as well. But it's kind of interesting to come into a park and have most of the park mowed and have some tall grass. You kind of know the bigger reason is for wildlife habitat.
One of the things we're going to do right now is just take a second, look at the nature around us in this video, and see what we're listening to. This is something called forest bathing, which I'm a huge fan of. So I'm going to just be quiet for 20 seconds and see what we notice here. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and please check out Columbia Children's Arboretum if you can. Hope y'all are staying safe during this time.